What's up? What's happening, Broncos fans? I'm David Gentili here with Santa Clara basketball coach Sam Scholl. Coach, let's jump right into it. It's game day. Gonzaga Bulldogs are in town. Big day here in Santa Clara, and you have the responsibility of scouting this Gonzaga team. What are some keys to the game for you and the Broncos today?
The biggest key is that Gonzaga has always been one of the best teams at making you pay for your mistakes, your live ball turnovers, your quick shots. They take those opportunities and they score on those at a really, really effective rate. And so we've got to really make sure that we're taking care of the ball, obviously, and then we're taking great shots, the best shots for our team. Not necessarily maybe the best shot for an individual, but the best shot for our team so they can't turn those into easy opportunities on the other end. We've got to really make sure we do a great job rebounding. We haven't been rebounding as well as we would like to so far in WCC play, but we got to make sure we do have an unbelievable rebounding night. They got two big, strong guys inside in Dower and Karnowski, and so we've got to really have our best rebounding night of the season.
Twin Towers, certainly for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They can present matchup problems for any team because of that. Now, you had the chance to go up and play them earlier this year in the Kennel, in the McCarthy Athletic Center. Pretty close game. In terms of scouting Gonzaga, what were you able to see in person that you just can't necessarily get on film about this team?
I think what you see is how fast, again, we're talking about them being able to turn turnovers and your mistakes into baskets, how fast it happens. It's a different deal when you see it live. And also how well they're moving the ball from side to side. They share it as good as any team, I think, in the country in terms of getting the ball moving, sharing it, having great spacing, so then when guys do catch, they can drive your closeouts and they're not running into each other. So you see the spacing, the way the ball moves, and how fast they get the ball up the floor on your mistakes. Some things that, it's kind of hard to get a feel for on film, but when you see it on person, it's like, okay, that's pretty impressive.
And you've had the chance to see this team in person, not only here with Santa Clara, but also when you played basketball at the University of San Diego. In your opinion, seeing them as a player, seeing them now as a coach, and scouting them, what makes this team so consistent over such a long period of time?
I think a lot of different things. I think, one, the way they share the ball. They don't, they never really have years, other than the Adam Morrison years. They don't have years where they have guys just go for 24 points a game and have just one big score. Now, Morrison was a pretty special case. But most years they have 5, 6 guys. And I think the thing about Gonzaga that makes them unique, they always have somebody ready to step up. When we're playing up there at their place, Sam Dowers doesn't play. So you're thinking, okay, well, this gives us an opportunity, right here, a bigger opportunity because one of their main players isn't in. But somebody's always ready to step up for them. You can't bank on somebody being out, somebody being in foul trouble. Okay, now here's our chance to take it at them. They always have somebody ready. Even if it's somebody who's only played 2-3 minutes or maybe hasn't played in a couple games, it just seems over the years that Gonzaga always has that guy on the bench that's ready to step up for his opportunity and make big plays. And through the course of being in this league for 14 years, it seems like there's always somebody each and every year ready to do that.
Another big game this weekend, Santa Clara takes on Portland, but I want to fast forward over to Sunday and the Super Bowl because, as I understand it, Coach, you're a pretty big Seattle Seahawks fan.
Oh, huge. We're absolutely excited. All of us in Washington, my family, my wife's family, we both grew up in Washington. We're extremely excited about Sunday. This has been an exciting year. We love the Seahawks, and got my 6-year-old and 4-year-old daughter. They're excited, so it's going to be a fun night, a fun day in the Scholl house.
So when you're together with your family watching the Seahawks game, and particularly the Super Bowl, not something that comes around all too often, what are your emotions like when you're watching?
Dancing, I'm pacing. Last week in the 49ers game, my girls are looking at me and my wife like, what's wrong with these guys? We're up and down and all around, and oh my goodness, and all this kind of stuff. So we all got our Seahawks shirts on. I usually film the girls doing a little Seahawks cheer before the game. So it's a big event, and Sunday will be, with the magnitude of what Sunday is and what it could be for Seattle and Seattle fans, it'll be even bigger.
Who is your favorite player on the Seahawks right now?
Oh, it's Russell Wilson. I just respect the heck out of not what he does on the field, but who he is off it. I think he takes the responsibility and the role of being a quarterback in the NFL, being the face of a franchise, and he epitomizes that each and every day with his actions off the field, visiting Children's Hospital, his charitable acts, but how he talks, how he represents himself. And I love the fact, too, he really embodies it. He ends every interview with "Go Hawks." So he really understands and knows his role and what he's trying to do on this team. I think he prepares himself as well as almost anybody, probably second to Peyton Manning. He might be the only one. And so, I just have a tremendous amount of respect for him and what he does.
Something you can not only appreciate as someone who is leading young men and young athletes, but also someone who, as you said, you have 2 young daughters, and with athletes the way they are these days, sometime at the professional level, it can be good to see someone who's such a great role model out there.
Oh, absolutely. And my girls know who Russell Wilson is, because as they grow, they don't understand kind of what he's doing, but they understand that how much we feel about him and respect him as a person, first and foremost, and as a leader, and then as a player. And so they know they have the Russell Wilson shirts. They know he's number 3. So we want to make sure that they're paying attention and watching the right guys.
Certainly an admirable guy, and it was funny. I ran into you yesterday talking about setting up this interview, and you bit right back with what our boss told you, is that I'm a big Denver Broncos fan too. So I want to thank you for coming in today, because I don't feel like we're going to be speaking the rest of the season after what goes on Sunday.
No, it's going to be fun, and that's a great part. We have a lot of 49er fans around here. Our team is majority of 49er fans, so there's been a lot of talking all year. So I was glad to get that out of the way, and I have some ownership over that debate, for the next 5-6 months. But you and I, this is going to be a challenge, and us Seahawks fans are definitely nervous about it.
All right, well, if I don't talk to you after Sunday, best of luck the rest of the season.
You too.
Good luck tonight against Gonzaga.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And go Broncos.